ISIS is losing territory across Syria and Iraq. They have lost Deir ez-Zor, which is a city that they have besieged during 3 years. They have lost Mosul, second biggest city in Iraq. They have lost Fallujah. They have lost Ramadi. They have lost Al-Qaim, which is a important stronghold at the Iraqi and Syrian border. They have lost Palmyra. They have uh, they have lost so many cities. And so now we have to talk about one thing. And we can no longer kick the issue down the road. And the issue is what is going to happen once ISIS is defeated in Iraq and Syria. Because we don't know. We don't know. They never tell you, like Donald Trump, by example, he never tell you what he's going to do once ISIS is defeated in Syria, by example. He don't tell you. He don't tell you. All he say is that we have to get Assad out. We have to have Assad out of power. We have to support the rebel. We have to have a free Syria, sovereign, and etc. So what is going to happen? Because ISIS is collapsing and their end in Iraq and Syria is very close. So in Iraq, well, once ISIS is defeated, we will have a peace. We will have peace. Yep, finally, and that is good. So we still will have tension between the Iraqi government, the Shia militia, and the Kurd because when ISIS was in Iraq, and they're still in Iraq right now, they basically made an alliance together. They were allies because against the bigger threat, which is ISIS, and everyone in Iraq want to see them defeated, so they make an alliance. And once ISIS is defeated, then we will have a tension between the Sunni, the Shia, and the Kurd, and it will be also complicated because one of the reasons ISIS is in Iraq it is because when Saddam was president, well, he was a Shia. No, sorry, he was Sunni, but he was a secular dictator, so he wasn't a religious leader. And so when the US overthrew Saddam, then they put in place a Shia. Then the Shia government, they cracked down against the Sunni. And so the problem is that when ISIS was arrived in Iraq, then the population, they view the militant through I don't know. They view the militant like liberator because they were oppressed by the government. The government wasn't treated them well, so they kinda was sympathetic to ISIS, and so that is one of the reasons ISIS is currently in Iraq. It is because the Iraqi government they have to regain the confidence of their population. They have to have their trust because that is necessary to keep Iraq together. And in Syria, it is way more complicated because you have much more militia and fraction and warlord. So once ISIS is defeated in Syria, first of all, you will have the government gathering troops all around the rebel-held territory because they will be no longer territory in Syria for ISIS, so they will move their troops and they will launch a final assault against the rebel basically everywhere. And once they have taken control of the rebel territory, they have basically won the war, and they have already won because the rebel are in a small territory of Syria, and all of their failed military operation didn't change anything. In fact, like they have tried many military operation from Idlib, which is the province that they control. They launched military operation in the south to take control of the city because to take control of, by example, Hama, which is an important city, and have the population the support of the population, and that is what they have tried to do, and every time they have tried this, they have failed, because you have the Russian that stops them, and very recently, last year they have lost Aleppo, and if they had won Aleppo, then I think they maybe could have won. Again, I'm not sure, but it is a possibility, because Aleppo was one of the most important cities in Syria. You have the government that was fighting against the rebel, and it was covered basically all around the world. The media, everyone was talking about the situation in Aleppo, and the situation, the battle was very important, because it could be a turning point if the rebel was able to take control of Aleppo. And so right now in Syria, between ISIS, the Syrian government, the Kurd, and the rebel, guess who is controlling the less territory? Well, actually, right now it is the rebel that is controlling the less territory. And isn't this is ironic that this is the rebel that want to overthrow Assad, and they are the one that is controlling the less territory and the less population? I mean, it sounds like the rebels are not gonna win, so maybe Saudi Arabia and the West, they should stop arming them, because you can give them any weapon that they want, they still won't be able to defeat the Syrian government. I mean, at one point they was able to control vast swaths of territory. They have taken Raqqa, which is an important city. They have taken a lot of city across the Euphrates, and then basically ISIS came out, and then they take almost all of the territory from the rebel, and Assad is going to win. I'm telling you, Assad is going to win. He's basically already won the war. He's controlling most of the population, most of the territory, and people in the media, they don't like to say that, but actually Assad is supported by the majority of his population. I mean, if he wasn't, he wouldn't have stayed in power. That's obvious. So Assad is basically the lesser of two evils. The rebels, they are not moderate. We cannot trust them. And even if we can trust them, I mean, if I was a government in I don't know, in the West, and I want to send weapons to the rebel, I want at least to wait that the Al-Qaeda branch in Syria, Al-Nusra, is at least defeated before sending weapons to the rebel, because right now, if the rebel are not directly Al-Nusra, well, they are fighting alongside them, and that is alarming, and that is telling you who really are the rebel, because they are not freedom fighter. And again, at the beginning of the war, they were freedom fighter, and I think I would have supported them, but right now that is not the same rebel. And actually the media and the politician in America, they try to spin this as a sectarian war, but that is not really a sectarian war, because the Syrian government are not only with the Shia government and organization, because you also have, by example, some Palestinian organization that want to help the government. You have the Russian, which they are definitely not Shia, they are not even Muslim. And one proof that I can show you that this is not a sectarian war is that Aleppo, the city in Syria, while Aleppo was a Sunni city and it was retaken by the government, and so if it was a sectarian war like the rebel and the media is trying to say that it is, then the government will not be able to retake control of Aleppo, because it is a Sunni city, and the government is is supposedly Shia. Well, they are not only Shia, as I've said.